Hi everyone. I just turned on Instagram, waiting for anyone to show up. Hello. It is Tuesday, noon Tuesday with your book witch, Jess. Namo, Gurudev Namo. I didn't plan anything necessarily for this meeting. I thought it would come to me. I've been enjoying more or less just being open, So I didn't necessarily plan anything, but I know that a lot of us are actually searching for truth right now. A lot of us are getting information, and then we're getting counter information, and we're all just trying to figure out what is true. And I wanted to share some things. I think it's really helpful that when we're trying to parse through information, when we're trying to collect a harvest of what we are doing, if we're trying to change in a social justice way, if we're trying to change inside and change ourselves, if we're opening our minds and our hearts to different beliefs or different ways of being, if we are examining all of the ways in which we've kept ourselves blind, I want to share my own personal compass. So I went through an inventory. Hey, Uni. I went through an inventory of decisions that I make in a day. And I've decided that basically every decision that I make during the day is determined by two different factors. I'm either making that choice, that decision out of love, or I'm making that decision out of fear. And lately, I have been trying to figure out if all of my decisions are based upon love, then what my life and what our society would look like, And so if that's helpful for you, I'm super grateful. It's just a lot of us are having a hard time right now. A lot of us are tired. A lot of us are really pushing through things that we're doing that may align with us or they may not align with us. So that's what I've been asking myself. It's okay, I almost didn't do this live today. I haven't been feeling physically good or emotionally good. And I was like, well, if I don't do the live, is that a decision based upon fear or is that a decision based upon love? And it's absolutely a decision based upon fear. Because for the love of myself, I would show up, For the love of the people I serve, I show up. And so I'm here and I'm empty and, I'm struggling a little bit. I'm about to move or not. There's all these planets going into retrograde, and I feel like our whole society is retrograde right now. I used to say that it was really effed up the way that society works and how backwards it is. The way that we do things is totally backwards and upside down. And I think that in this transition period, it feels so much like a retrograde, and I don't know if that's just because we have 6 planets in retrograde, but it feels like we're reassessing. It feels like we're finding our bearings. It feels like we have sea legs. We're trying not to do the wrong thing, and we're trying to stand up for people that can't stand for themselves in many, many ways. And I believe that as long as I'm choosing my decisions based upon love instead of fear, then I'm making proper choices, And so sometimes that means going to bed early. Sometimes that means donating money to the cause. Sometimes that means posting. Sometimes that means not posting. Sometimes that just means spending a lot of time with my kids, going on walks with them. That's a decision based in love. And so as we navigate and try to figure out what the hell's going on in our world as we navigate the ideas of internal landscape and external landscape, and how maybe in a spiritual journey, how to get those to I'm thinking of tapestry. I'm thinking of like our internal landscape has to kind of be stitched into our external landscape. I know there's a lot of people that are feeling like you have to do the internal work and then do the external work. And I could agree. I could very much so agree that we're not very useful, at least we're not very sustainably useful to society, to our communities, to our families, unless our cups are filled first. And I guess I have been trying to balance the two. Okay. I'm one to get activist burnout really quickly. And I try to basically, I just become kind of consumed with whatever movements, whatever injustice that I'm fighting against. I get really consumed and I completely stop taking care of myself. And as George Floyd was murdered and everyone took the streets, I was feeling like I need to do something, you know, and basically that was just me for 2 weeks trying to like talk to people, trying to learn, you know. I've been like consuming so much people of color content. I've been like doing anything that I feel like I could. I went to protests. I've been opening up conversations, uncomfortable conversations, just as I'm assuming most or all of us have been. But I realized that I quickly tipped the scale and I found myself empty, and not in a positive way, like depleted, empty as in depleted. And then I've been kind of sick recently. You know, it's kind of like emotional, kind of like premenstrual, kind of like stomach, like all sorts of things. And my body was like, hey, you got to take care of yourself too. I was talking to my therapist, I've talked to my guides, and everything is pointing me to don't forget your mission here. You know, even voices of color are like, yo, don't forget your mission here. And my mission is to be your book witch. My mission is to provide a container, a physical container, maybe like a container in the world, you know, maybe a container through these conversations. I also am motivated by building community. I think community is hella important. But my mission is to provide the tools, to provide the physical containers. I like to call them thought vessels, the books for the artists, for the change makers, for the activists, for the entrepreneurs, for the mothers, for the children, for everyone. I deeply believe in my cause. I deeply believe in who I am and why I'm here. And these are choppy waters to navigate. So I just want to remind everyone to be gentle with themselves. And the reason I'm reminding you to be gentle with yourself is because I'm reminding myself to be gentle with myself, that I'm doing the best that I can. I want to make sure that I lead with love and I lead with heart. That's the true north for me right now. That is the compass that points me in the right direction. I have to stop. Take a deep breath, long exhale, and figure out if I'm making a decision based upon love or I'm making a decision based upon fear. And I had a lot of fear showing up today and being like, well, I'm going to talk about whatever I feel like talking about. Yeah, there's fear. I have fear showing up every day. You know, I have fear and little glimpses of not enoughness, uncertainty, wanting to throw it all away. I get that a lot. I'm also invaded by flies right now. There's so many. I think it's the manure. We got like a truckload of manure for the garden, and all of a sudden we were invaded by flies. But like for real, like, so am I gonna go smashing flies? Is that out of love or fear? You know? Like, anyway, I've been trying to capture these flies, like put them outside. Not because I not because I think that like not because I'm ignorant that they don't carry disease and things of that nature. I just smash a fly out of love or out of fear. And I'm like, well, fear, you know, like it's hard, it's difficult. I commend you. I offer this to you because I literally have been struggling with what is true and what is right. I think there's this Mars and Aries thing going on at the end of the month that brings up fear, you know? It brings up like, oh wow, is this the beginning of a war? You know, there's a lot of astrology going on. If you are into it, I highly recommend you like dip your toes back in because I've been doing such things. And I have a few favorite astrologer friends if you guys want some suggestions. There's a lot going on in so many different dimensions and so many levels and so many lives and so many communities and so many conversations. There's so much going on. And I don't know whether or not you should dip in or dip out or follow them or follow them. I have no clue. I am really good at making books. And I am really good at leading with heart. And I am really good at being present. And I'm really good at showing up, you know? Showing up as myself, showing up as, you know, imperfect Jess. I pulled the Rooted card from the Heartquest deck this morning, just a little while ago actually, because I took a really long walk with my 6-year-old, almost 6-year-old. This is a Heartquest deck. Let me turn it over. Here you go. Heartquest deck. It's made by Star Mama Rose. I love the way that she designed it. I know that she had a lot of fear come up as well. A lot of that enoughness, you know, a lot of like, is this the right thing to do right now? Yeah. And I want to acknowledge Amber, Star Mama Rose, that these cards have so much of a life force to them. And it's gorgeous because they're so gorgeous. And I have a hesitancy to call them simple because they're very, very, they are absolutely transformational. They're not simple, but you don't need to have prior experience to use them. And that's one of the reasons that I love them so much. I can bring these to any group of people and we can all kind of understand what the cards are telling us. We don't need to know tarot. We don't need to know who Archangel Michael is. We don't need to know anything. And so I pulled Rooted this morning, and that was really great. Rooted, the word, was one of my words from last year. So last year I wanted to be rooted because we've been trying to move or not move for like 2 years now. And I was like, last year in 2019, I was like, man, I really just want to be rooted somewhere. And that's when I realized that I was rooted in the sunrise and the sunsets. And those happen all over our planet, you know. Rooted, what's interesting about these Core Desired Feelings by Danielle Laporte. If you guys don't know her, you can click the link below in YouTube. But she has many activities and workbooks to try to figure out what your core desired feelings are. I know she's on the platform Commune, where you can figure out your core desired feelings. That process is pretty simple too, but it takes some time and it takes your thought and your intention. So Yes, last year it was sorry, it wasn't supported. It's supported this year, by the way, but last year it's rooted. And I realized that I was rooted in the sunrises and sunsets of my day and my night. And it didn't really matter necessarily where I was on the planet. It just, if I was able to capture a moment, I was going to say a feeling, a moment of those times, then I would feel home at home. A lot of people are asking me what this tattoo means, by the way. This tattoo means that I'm home, wherever I am. It was actually taken from a blanket it was a sheet actually that I traveled with for a long time. And it was like a gray, green, yellow type sheet, and it had these blue decals. Anyway, I loved that it wasn't perfect. It's not a perfect mandala. Like there's things offset, there's things, that are clashing into each other. And I asked the tattoo artist if he would preserve that imperfection as he put it on me. So there's also not a lot of lines. They're all dots because connecting the dots to me means that fuller understanding of the place between two places. And I got this tattooed on me to remind myself that I'm home. My body is my home, that I don't necessarily need like a home state or a home country or to even agree with borders and ownership of land. And those things are important, but for me, this tattoo did not mean that. The tattoo meant the opposite of that I'm home wherever my body is, and that I was born on this planet with everything that I would need, and that I'm safe and protected. And the word rooted took on this whole change for me. I realized that even though as much as I don't want to move back to Oklahoma, for example, that I'd rather stay in California and beyond, that going back doesn't mean anything detrimental. It doesn't mean anything that is bad or necessarily like basically I just figured it was like a toxic state. And then I was like, well, that's not a belief that's rooted in love at all. I've came a long way. In these past years. I got this tattoo after Xena was born, so it was about 4 years ago. And I love looking back and realizing that what I needed was there. I just wasn't ready to see it fully. So there's my wish for you. I'm going to pull some Heartquest cards for anyone on and for the collective, and then I'll probably pull one for myself too. I just want to offer you the compass, the true north. Is this decision made in love or fear? And I want to say that what you have available is all you need. Literally, you were born from the womb with everything that you need for this journey, okay? And thinking that there's lack and thinking of that life won't protect you or take care of you, that's fear. Those are fear things. And if you let fear run your life, then it's going to be more of a struggle. Not that life doesn't have struggle and pain, it does. But love is the catalyst to understanding yourself. Love is the catalyst to filling your own cup. Love is the catalyst to giving that overpouring of resources to your family, your community, your cities, your country, your planet. I just want you guys to know that I love you, and we're in this life together right now, and that's really, really special. It's really special that we're all here at the same time. There's my cat. So I was like, we're all here together. And my cat was like, I'm here. Okay. So is there anyone on Instagram that would like me to pull a card for them? I had a couple of people drop in. Oh, that's for someone. Maybe it's me. I'm going to keep that there for me. How about that? Oh. You know, no cards fly out of my hand as much as the Heartquest cards do. This is for the collective. Grace and Mother Earth. Silver in the Heartquest deck represents mother energy. Has anyone else been getting a lot of grandmother energy coming to them lately? A lot. My grandmother isn't in the best health right now, and so like I just want to talk to her on the phone for like an hour a day. I'm just like I said, I have a lot of personal stuff going on right now. Mother energy and grace. Let's see, grace is magenta. I'm looking on the key on my computer. Yeah, magenta, grace, and angels. This is a card for the collective, y'all. Here you go, YouTube. Grace and Mother Earth. Angel and Earth energy. Let me know in the comments below what that means for you right now. I don't think anyone's online on Instagram right now, so I'm going to show my card. Totem! I'm laughing because I keep getting totem and guides, and I'm like, okay. But my journey listening to guides is like, it's a little rocky. I tell everyone that. I'm like, yeah, well, I listen to guides and I do these things, and then I feel like, is that what it's supposed to be? You know? Totem. Totem for me is completely the frog right now. Frog energy is coming to me. I got frogs all around me. I am a frog witch, for real. Like, me and frogs are tight. Frogs are water energy. They bring a lot of cleansing and change. They also represent renewal and rebirth, you know, totem. That's the first one that fell out of the deck. Okay, this card is for the people who wish they were here live, but they're not. So if you're watching the replay of this and you wish that you were here so that you could pull a card, I'm going to pull one specifically for you. So for the collective, we had Grace and Mother Earth. For me, I had Totem again. With no disdain, no anything. I love it. I'm just still trying to figure out what exactly it means to me. And then for those of you who missed the live, I'm going to pull this one for you, okay? Challenge. Challenge is a solar plexus chakra yellow card. I bet we're all feeling challenged right now in multiple ways. Interior, exterior, inside realm, outside realms, between the realms, every layer of the veil. Challenge. Yeah. Oh, my loves. I don't want to just leave you with the challenge card. I'm going to pull one last card unless someone jumps on. One last card. What can we do with this challenge? I invoke the power of the frog. Ta-da! Oh, Grace. What can we do with the challenge? It's Grace. There you go, YouTube. I told you these flies are loco. Flies. Grace. What can we do with the challenge? Grace. Long exhales, my loves. I am shutting down the bookshop in July. That gives you about 2 more weeks. If you would like to make a book with me, your book witch, Jess, aka your book witch. This is my purpose in life. I didn't understand it. I rejected it for a long time. I thought it wasn't good enough. I thought, oh, am I not supposed to like have something magical to do? And then I realized, oh, I make the magic. I am the magic. And the more I own who I am and what my purpose here is, the greater my life gets and the greater ability I have to touch the lives of others that I'm supposed to come into contact with. I just really want to send my love out and understanding and compassion and empathy. I appreciate you. You are my human brothers and sisters and non-binary folks, you know? Yeah. I wish you grace. And I will show up here next Tuesday. Absolutely. I love you. See you next time.